Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Return to Zork. Last time we went topside and ordered to gather more information from the residents of West Shanbar. We should be heading back underground soon, but there is one more file in the mayor's cabinet that we should check out.
Would you mind standing a little farther back?
The Dwarven Sword of Zork. This legendary weapon was last known to be in possession of none other than Mudok himself. It's been passed down from generation to generation of peasant and adventurers alike. It has been said to be blessed by every generation of holy women at the Temple of Belnair. When in good repair, this sword glows blue in the presence of danger, and regardless of its condition, the sword is unbreakable. The Dwarven miners now claim the sword as their own, although it was originally owned by the elves. So, the sword that Mudok gave us is the same sword that has appeared in every single Zork game to date. Except Nemesis, I believe. But let's ignore that one.
Want some rye? Of course you do.
We're always so polite when returning the glass to booze. It weirds me out every time.
Yeah, you stink. Do Zork meds.
I like how he checks himself before he accuses us of stinking. Anyway, that grunt at the end the blacksmith made was him trying to communicate that we owe him 2 Zork mids for the repair of our sword. Alright, we got our sword back. And it's shiny. Well, there are 2 buildings left in town that we haven't explored yet, so let's start with the close one.
Now, it isn't easy to trick evil. Here's what we did. I can't believe we did this, but we did. Now the wizards met in room number 2 at the Inn of Enough to plan the great dispersal of all magic. Now our enemies had placed a spy in basement level number 6, but we knew that. Whoop, gotta go.
Well, I wonder where he had to go. It sounds like Wizard Trembile is starting to fill us in on the events leading up to the Great Diffusion, which could be useful information. But for now, let's head inside.
Excuse me, but I think you are just a little overripe. I mean, you really smell bad.
And this polite lady is the owner of the inn, Molly. Fortunately for us, we can't really speak to her, we can only interrogate her. And she has nothing to say about our inventory, but plenty to say about our photos.
That little know-it-all feeds that cow hers carrots so they'll see better in the dark. That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. Oh, yeah, that poor old feller hardly goes out except to feed that weird cow of his. Actually, it's Snoot's cow.
So, that explains why Pugny has a cow that only eats carrots. It's Snoot's cow, who just so happens to grow a lot of carrots. And apparently carrots help you see in the dark.
Why, that's my husband, Modoc. He's got that little shop right across the way there. Yeah, that's his.
And alright, and apparently Molly's married to this thing.
Poor Mavis. Lost her brood and can't seem to leave the hen house.
Probably the most accurate description of Miss Peepers we'll ever hear.
Ooh, that Lush, bless his heart. I don't know what happened to him, but when people moved down here, I don't know, he just deteriorated. Oh yeah, let me see there. Yeah, that's right down the street there, isn't it? That place is all locked up, at least it was. Owner just give up, left town. Just beat all I'd ever seen. Too bad they can't wire him for sound. That'd keep the vultures away. Wonder if they ever got that light fixed. I was just wondering about that.
Alright, and that's all the information we're going to get out of Molly here. And all of the fake accent I can stand. It looks like we can head into the inn, but that's for paying guests only. We'll come back later when we need to take a break. Alright, and let's check out the other building we haven't been to yet, which is an incinerator. Well, we've got two levers here, and one opens the hatch above, which we can't do anything with, and the other opens this drawer here. Well, we don't really have anything to incinerate right now. We do need to dispose of this bonding plant eventually, but we do have safer ways of doing that. So, for now, the incinerator isn't much use to us. We've explored everything on the other side of this bridge, but we haven't been to the left yet. So let's do that.
You looking for something? Just got boats here. 2 Zorkmans. Okay, so it's not completely ready. But come on, 2 Zorkmans pretty darn cheap. And it'll run, I'll tell you. All it needs is a little something for the squeaky wheel, so to speak.
Alright. 2 Zork mids for a boat. That could come in handy. Before we get to that, though, he doesn't have a whole lot to say about our inventory. And whenever we try to show him something that he isn't really interested in, the game mentions he's too tied up to reply. This is a hint to notice that in his hand he's got a knot here, and if we ask him about it...
Hey, you know, that reminds me of this knot called the cow hitch.
Okay, it's left and right. Okay. Under, through, around, okay, and then back, I think. And, yeah, that's it. Good and strong.
Alright, well, he taught us the cow hitch. Now, if we show him anything even related to the cow, like the thermos full of milk, a picture of the cow, he will show us the same knot. So there are plenty of ways to learn it. As for our photos, he doesn't have much to say, except for the photo of any female.
I had a girl. She was a witch. She was quite a girl. I had a fight with her a while back. I don't even remember what about. I haven't spoken since. I wrote her a letter, though. I got it here somewhere. You think maybe you could do me a favor and take it to her? Appreciate it.
No problem. I just wish we knew who we were delivering it to. Not a problem if we take a look at it. It's a letter from Ben to Witch Ita, who we haven't met yet. But thanks, Ben. Well, he doesn't really have much else to say right now, so let's just rent that boat from him.
Appreciate it.
Oh, that looks like a hamster wheel. Squeaky wheel. Well, if you remember, way back in West Shanbar, we did pick up some rodents. I think that one in the upper right is brain damaged. Yeah. Well, anyway. Let's see if they can get the boat running. Nope. The mice don't provide enough power. And that is literally the only use that the mice are in the entire game. Well, other than killing you, that is. Now, let's drop them back in the box. And get moving. We'll have to come back later with some...
Hiya, sailor.
Right, hiya, sailor. Old Zork fans will recognize that as a warning. But, yeah, we'll have to come back later with some more powerful rodents. So, where else can we go? Again, we've explored everything on the other side of the bridge, and to its left, so... all that's left are the 2 locations on the other side of town. Let's start by going this way. Alright. The Whispering Woods. Well, before we explore any place this ominous looking, I think it's best for us to save. Alright. That's right. This is our first maze of the game. You can tell it by the compass symbol at the very top, which tells us which direction that we're currently facing. So, let's start mapping. Our peripheral vision is dimming. And I thought I just heard a voice say something. Well, as our vision dims, it's getting harder to tell if there's a screen to our left or right. Which is going to make this maze awfully difficult to explore. Can you see the galactic Milky Way? Galactic Milky Way. Well, if that hint wasn't heavy-handed enough for you, the game is trying to get us to take a look at something lactic. With milk. Milk. And with a drink of milk, we can suddenly see again. That's right. Milk cures blindness. So, what the hell? I think the reasoning that the developers were trying to get us to follow is that carrots are good for your eyesight. And since Snoot's cow eats nothing but carrots, its milk must be good for your eyes. Still, this maze is, with how quickly we go blind, I don't see how they could... See, we're already almost blind again. I don't see how they could reasonably expect us to map it out and get through it. Honestly, we're gonna have to use what last bit of milk we have left in order to get out of here.
3 rings begin, 2 rings return.
3 rings begin, 2 rings return. Alright. Well, that's not good. If we had even if we did know some way through the maze, if we weren't able to get through in a single drink of milk, we would never be able to get back. We'd go blind on the return trip. So, there's something else going on with that maze that we haven't figured out yet, so we'll just have to move on. Alright, and the other branch.
There you are. You want to hear something? The vultures are good for just one thing and one thing only. They're talons. When you find one, grab it. They're like boomerangs.
Oh, that's good to know. And I wasn't planning on this, but it's Rebecca. So, let's drill her for, well, some new information. Since the last time we spoke with her, we had shown the joke book to Ms. Peepers, and she said that we should show it to Rebecca, although last time we showed it to her, she said she didn't know the tongue.
I studied up. I can translate it now. Why do flatheads write TGIF on their shoes? Toes go in first.
Well, that's right. Showing the book to Ms. Peepers is a trigger for Rebecca. Suddenly she learns the language. As for the other crap we're carrying, she doesn't have much to give us. Much more information to give us. But that opening hint, their talons are like boomerangs, it lines up with Booze's testimony. That one of those fingernails from them danged buzzards came back and bit him in the backside, so we really could use one of those. Alright, well, we've got some tiles here. Oh boy. Well, we'll take them. You never know what you could use tiles for. And we can head forward here into the next maze of the game. The Forest of the Spirits. So, again, let's map our way through. Awfully peaceful music. What do we have here? Looks like a tree with metal leaves. I'd like to get my hands on some of those metal leaves, but it doesn't look like we can do anything with the tree. Can't even climb it. Well, let's try hitting it with our knife. It worked on the bell back in West Shanbar. Maybe it'll work here. But it doesn't look like our knife is long enough to reach, so this looks like a job for our sword. Well, that seemed to work. But, hang on. I think our sword icon looks a little different. Our sword broke. That's not right. I thought the file we read back in the mayor's cabinet said the Dwarven sword was unbreakable. Well, for now, let's take these coins and get out of here. See if we can get our sword fixed up back at the blacksmith. Or maybe there's been some kind of mix-up. Our sword should have been unbreakable. Oh, a frame. Well, a multimedia frame? How is it multimedia? It's a frame. Whatever. We'll take it. And we'll save our dispute with the blacksmith for next time. Our sword. Alright. Well. See you next time.